right in the kisser.
Hey, how the devil are you? Right. Oh my goodness, today, we have got a beauty. So, this is the new amp from Aiyima, the A80. Now, I've been using this for about a week now, and I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with it. And not only that, it's got, hang on a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm quite excited. So it's an amp and a DAC built all together, all in one. But not only that, it's got VU meters, digital VU meters, proper decent ones as well. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for a VU meter. You know, I do love a VU meter. Hello, sir, how can we help? Hello, Hugh. Interesting name. What's the G for? Gary? Right, right. Well, I'm looking for a decent desktop amp. We have this one with digital VU meters, and it also has, can I just stop you there? You had me at VU. Take my money. Righty-ho. But it's all well and good having VU meters on there. But if it sounds rubbish, then what's the point? So let's take a closer look at the amplifier and see how good it sounds with a sound test later on. Hoi! Okay, so on the front, it's not a lot to see. You got your display screen here and your input selector and your volume. Let's have a little look on the back. Let's start from the right. So you get your power input there. You get full-size speaker binding posts. I hate them little teeny ones. So it's nice to see full-size binding posts on there. They look nice, look all right. Then you've got a 12-volt trigger, so you can connect that to the device, so they switch each other on and off. Down the bottom then you've got your auxiliary out, so you can use this as a preamp or connect it to powered speakers, but also a subwoofer out. Now I connected it to a subwoofer, a powered sub, and this is variable, so it will turn the volume of the sub up and down. So you haven't got to go getting on the floor and adjusting the volume of your sub, because that's a pain in the neck. So that's good to see. On the top then you've got your coaxial and optical. I think these are 192 kilohertz, 24-bit sampling rate. On the bottom then you've got your RCA, your Bluetooth aerial, and down the bottom then you've got your TRS. So the amp chip it's using is the TPA3255D. They tend to all use that amp chip because it's a decent chip and you can get quite a bit of power running through it. The Bluetooth chip is the QCC3040, that's 5.1 Bluetooth and capable of up to aptX HD. The sampling rates for the USB is 32-bit, 384 kilohertz and DSD 256. Now the TRS and the RCA signal to noise ratio is 109 dB and the distortion is 0.006%, which is good, decent, okay? But then I got confused because normally the distortion and signal to noise ratios tend to be a little bit better on balanced inputs. It's not always the case, it isn't always the case, but you know, most of the time. So I thought, are they really balanced? But then I looked at the input sensitivity and the RCA is 2 VRMS and the TRS is 3.6 VRMS. So and that's root mean square voltage. So the TRS has a better input sensitivity. So I'm guessing they are balanced. Now the power you get out of this, I got the 48-volt 5 amp, which came, that's the stock power supply, I believe. And that's 120 watts into 4 ohms RMS and 102 watts into 8 ohms. So plenty of power there. The DAC it's using is the ESS 9038Q2M. And again, with the 9038s, a lot of the DACs around this price point, 100, 200 pound mark, maybe 300 even, they use the 9038s or the 9039s. And the reason they use them is because they're reasonably priced, but they perform well. So that's why they use them. And also it's got the NE5532 op-amp chips for the same reason. So it's got a good selection of chips in it. Now, it doesn't mention in the specs anywhere online at the moment about PFFR. But I read a forum recently, and in that thread, someone asked whether it has PFFR, prefer. And Aiyima answered and said, yes, it does. So Aiyima says it does in this forum, but it doesn't mention it on the specs. And I don't know why, because that's quite a good selling point. So it's odd why it doesn't mention it online. Anyway, there you go. It also comes with an optical cable. It's got USB-C to USB-A, but you can also take that off then there, and that also has a USB-C on it, so that's handy. And last but not least, the instruct. Right, let's have a look at that interface. Okay, let's have a little look at the interface. So here's your volume here. You can see the volume on the bottom going up and down. Also here you've got what input you're on. So I'm on USB at the moment. Tells me I'm on PCM, not DSD. Also gives my sample right there. And there you can see the beautiful VU meter. Now one click or one press and you'll go into the settings there. So I'll come back to the style in a sec. So you got your input there, and you can see you got Bluetooth, USB, which I'm on at the moment, optical, coaxial, TRS, and RCA. And then you got a tone. So there you got your bass and treble. I think that's plus minus 10 dB. I think. Let's have a look. Let me just get on there. Yeah, 10 dB. That is. It's one press to get into it, double and two presses to get out of it. So then you got your light there, so you can take your brightness up and down. I'm not going to turn it because it'll, well, look, I'll turn it a little bit, but it will affect the camera if I go too bright. So I'm going to keep it on low at the moment. There we are now, the best bit. So now we got style. So you see I already had one of the VU meters on, but you've got two others to choose from. So you've got this one here. You've got that one there, which is the dual one. And then you've got, I suppose, is it a VU meter or it's like a spectrum analyzer? Now I'll have to play music for you to have a listen to this. It's royalty free, so. Have a look at that. Ho-ho! Beautiful. Love it. I love it. Okay, you can obviously change that then to one of the other ones. Let's go on the dual one. Then you've got the single one then. Okay, let's stop that. So, how awesome is that? I love it. I love it. Right. So, the sound test. You know I love a sound test, don't you? Oh, I do love a sound test. Right, so what I've done, I've done a sound test comparing the Aiyima A80 to these two, the raw DAC one and the raw HA1. That's what, 650 quid's worth of kit there. That raw DAC 1 is a very decent DAC. And the HA1 is a decent all-in-one amplifier. So how will the Aiyima A80 do against these two? Well, have a listen to this. So what do you think of that? Hey, the Aiyima A80 gave them a run for their money. Oh, that was a close call, that one. Very hard to choose between them. So the A80 performed admirably. Now, I will say with the A80, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a Peter Gabriel track called Red Rain. Love that track. Although it's not recorded, I think the production of it isn't the best. However, some amplifiers playing that can jumble it up a bit. It gets a bit messy. A80 didn't, played it fine. Played it absolutely fine, done really well with that track. I think this is going to sell for around about the 220, 230 mark, dollars, pounds, euros, around about there, I think. A lot of people may go, ooh, that's kind of a bit expensive, isn't it? Well, think about what you're getting, okay? So I'd say this is as good as a ZA3, okay? And a ZA3 is a very decent amplifier from Fozzy. I think this sounds as good, but it is from memory. So, you know. Then on top of that, you've got to get a DAC. What's that, another 100 quid? So the ZD3 sells for about 110, is it? 120? So there's 200, 220 right there, okay? And you could get the ZD3, which is selling for about 150, although that does have an HDMI socket. And that has the, I think that's the 4039, I think so they use a similar DAC chip. So you're in for 250 there. So for 230, plus having the VU meters and that interface, I think you're getting a really good deal with that. Really good deal. If I had this for Christmas, I'd be like a pig in mud. Oh, I really would. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one.